All right, today we're gonna jump right into it. So I'm using these bases that I 3D printed, but you can use as plasticine, plastic sheets. This is way cheaper, way more cost effective. But like I said, I'm finishing up with my 3D printing journey, and these are all cured. I just have gloves on because I want to sand them down a little bit. But I didn't. It was easier just to print these for me than it was to try to clean the vat out. So I am done 3D printing for a bit. So I just used the resin I had in the tank until I ran out to print these. But these are going to be for Midgard. But these are 160 by 120 millimeters, I think, or something like that. It's whatever Midgard needs. But if you don't want to 3D print them, which again, this is probably like, I don't know, half a bottle of resin, you can just get plastic sheets, plastic card sheets. And now this is not magnetic sheets. What this is flexible steel. So the trays themselves are not going to be magnetic. We're going to keep magnets in the bases. So if that way our bases on the figures themselves will be magnetic and not the movement trays. So like my butcher has a magnet on the bottom of it, and I plan on using rare earth magnets. So his magnet might not be the best example for this, but you can see the magnets will stick to this. And do I have a real... And again, these aren't necessarily, like, they don't need to like lock in place on this. This is just to keep our bases attached during gameplay. Whoa, knocking everything all over the place. So see, we have one sheet here. We'll be able to fit quite a bit on here. I got to think about the layout. I'm going to try to avoid cutting as much as possible. You know, I think probably doing something like that is going to be our best bet. So I'm going to get these cut out, get them attached. They're adhesive on the back, so I can stick them down. But I want to sand the edges on all these first, so I'll be right back. Okay, so I got everything sanded, and I went over, got all the edges black. I used that Mitsubishi surfacer because this is very hard and it dries fast. I got to fill in this one, but first, this is one I kind of did a little bit too big, and then when I did that one, I realized that I need to do it a little bit short of the full base edge, and I've kind of unevenly beveled the edges. And I'm taking this, it's just as a flexible razor knife, and I'm just beveling this edge unevenly because when I put my mud material on top of this, I don't want any hard edges. I want it to be like a gradual lift up. And even when I bevel it, like a magnet still sticks on the bevel side. So we're not losing any magnet stickiness. So I'm gonna go do the rest. I'm gonna show you this too. So these don't need to be exact to the tray as well. So I just want to cut them as fast as I can, right? So this is the last strip that I cut. I'm just gonna fold this over and fold it on the line. And now I'm gonna take my razor knife still, and I crease it a little bit more. Now I can just take this and I can follow the edge of that fold, you know? And what you do, make sure your finger's out of the way, and you pull your whole like shoulder straight back. And it's not gonna be perfect. It doesn't have to be. But now I know that this is close enough. It'll fit inside of my movement tray, and it won't be, like, I want it short, you know? I don't want the edges. I don't want it to go right to the edge. So I come to like right here probably. Because measuring each one is gonna slow me down. And a figure is not gonna be like that close to the edge anyway. So this would grab any figure that's gonna be on top of it. So then press it down. And then again, I'm just coming in, definitely taking those corners off. And this is, it's getting kind of dull. I've had this for many years at this point. And you just, almost kind of the same way you would carve a foam mountain. And this is, I'm doing this uniform to get it on camera, but probably the less uniform it is, the better, because we're gonna cover this in modeling, or in terrain effect compound. I think I have mud. I just picked up a fresh bottle of Vallejo mud. And this way it'll be kind of like an organic rise. And it's not just gonna be like, it's not gonna be super obvious. Hopefully that we have this square rubber under here. Let me show you this too on another time saving thing. So I've got my cutting mat. I'm lining it up. There's 11 centimeters. So 5.5, right? That line is there. I already cut it, but I just put that here and I just pull my whole, like I'm not using my fingers, I'm not using my wrist, I'm using the whole fulcrum of my arm to just pull it straight back towards me. And again, it's not perfect. Actually, this is that's pretty halfway decent. And then because I cut that in half right there, I know that if I just do the same thing, make sure my sheet is even, and like you can line it up here, but you're not gonna be able to see it. And I'm pulling back from my whole shoulder. It's the same way as if you're drawing, that's how you draw a straight line on a piece of paper. You don't need to use a ruler and like go crazy every time. This doesn't, it's not perfect. Like you can see it's a little lopsided, but for what we're doing, this is gonna be more than good enough for what we need to do. Okay, it's late night in the kitchen. This stuff still isn't dry. I don't want to touch it, but it's Vallejo mud, so this is gonna have to be a part 2 video. But you can see, I'm gonna try to be careful. You can't really see where we put that magnet strip in once we get the mud on. And sorry, the lighting is terrible in here. This is just trying to hopefully get it to dry in time, but it's not. So it's gonna have to be part 2. So I'll see you tomorrow where we actually finish these up.